so long, and it is already late in the afternoon, evening.
Okay, no problem, Doctor.
Yeah. It's the first time I see this here. I just want to see where I can switch it off. Okay. I just want to check. Okay. Yeah, let's go to the what do you call it, the course or the assignment. Yeah, this is the assignment for the next task. It is about introducing QGIS. We are going to use QGIS for this practical, and hopefully you have already looked about for some videos regarding QGIS. Like I said, the objective for this one is to introduce you to QGIS as an open source program, and then there's a video that you can watch of QGIS, and I'm sure that there's other videos as well on YouTube. The objective of the study is to use simple QGIS processes to add data to a project, join attributes and spatial data and symbolize data. That is what we're going to do. It is a simple or 2 or 3 action or processes that you must follow. And I think mostly that is a big part of GIS. And the next step is to download your data. I've somewhere for this afternoon download it to my computer. So in that download you will have klaar af. Are you still here?
I'm still here, Doctor.
Yeah, that was now load shedding. I forgot to switch to my battery system. So it is now load shedding here in Bloemfontein or in my suburb. So let's continue. I was at I downloaded the data. So in that data set, is just this. It is two Excel spreadsheet. If I open it, you will see it is Word data from stats assay. The Word number, I will talk to it again. Same, the Word or gender information for the words, and then here's a shapefile that we're going to use. As previously said, although we call it a shapefile, in this case there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 files that go with the shapefile. The one is then the database of that specific one. That is the spatial information, and that is the projection file, and then other files. So this is a shapefile. So download that, and here's the exercise that you must do. And there's my
Sorry, Doctor, your screen is not sharing.
sorry. Just want to
There we go.
Yeah. Outendeka.
Hi everyone. Sorry, Nema. I've got a problem with the internet.
Yeah, no, I had a problem with my load shedding, so I'm back now.
Because also me, my electricity just came now, so it's the internet is in and off.
Yeah. Okay.
Please record in case I don't hear other.
Yeah, and it is busy recording.
Okay, thanks.
All right. I just want to say that again that the exercise then is in Moodle. So you first download your data, and as I've indicated, there's two sets of data. This is the spreadsheets, and then the shape file, or the one file that you will use in the exercise. And I'm like I've said, also it is a simple of 2 or 3 simple processes that we're going to look at today. But I use this a lot of time in my assessment and in my workings with GIS, where I have attribute data. I must link it to a shapefile or to a spatial data and do then some assessments, or then make a map from that. So that is what we're going to do now. Okay, and this GIS or this file is one that you then can look at what we must do. So to do that further is we must add data to our GIS or to our QGIS. So everything is here. Use the browser, open the attribute table to look at it and all that. Yeah, so you must go through this as well. Important, I will maybe say it again, is that when you look at the data, the word ID, that is very important because that is a unique identifier. And if you want to link attribute data with your spatial data, both sets of data must have a unique identifier. In this case, it is a word number, so that word number must be in both data sets. But we're going to look at that. So we must add data to our exercise or to our project. And the one that we're going to add is the word layer. And you will use the same process for other data as well. So this is the browser we're going to look at. This is the directory where the data is in, and that is the data that we're going to add. The next one is what I've shown you, is the spreadsheet. This is age per word from stats SA. So here's the attribute data. Again, here you see is the word ID that I talked about. Excel spreadsheet, age and gender. So this is the two, age and gender. Okay, now what you must do is you must add the Excel data to the project. The first action, you have add the layer, the word layer. Now the next step is to add the Excel spreadsheet to the project. And here I described it. I will go it in practical. I will go through it in practical as well. But the first thing that you must make sure is that you install the spreadsheet layer plugin. And that is, you go to your plugins. I will show that again I type then Excel to search for it, and then I install this spreadsheet layers, but I will do that in practical as well. The next step then, is to click on that button there. I will show that, and then you go through the process of adding it, and then in your layers you will see that the spreadsheet is there, and then I will show further. The next step then, is to add it together, link the age with the ward data, and here's the process that you must follow. Open the property of the layer, use the join button, and you go through the process. But I will show you that as well. You will see at the end that it is join, and then you will look at it again. Just hold on. Okay, so you do the join, where you join the attributes with the spatial data. So everything is here that you must follow. Okay, then after that, after you have linked it, you must symbolize it, and we will go through it, graduated, or first symbology, graduated, and you link it in the different colors or whatever that you want, and then you show the areas where the most people older than 60 are staying, for example, or other information that you want to show. Okay, let's see what is under calculation. How you normally do your calculation in your attribute table. That is why you open your attribute table. This is your attribute table, and then you do the calculations, but I will show you to do that. So we want to calculate our percentage, and we will show that you can do that in Excel or then in QGIS as well to do your calculations. And that is abacus that you use to do the calculations, but we will go through it just now. Again, symbolize it, the same methodology here, and then you create your layout. How do you create a map, or we call it a layout, but that is the map. You open it, you name it, and then you go through the process. And then you export it as a PDF, and that is what you then send to me or upload it in Moodle. Oh yeah, it's better for me. Yeah, you must upload it in Moodle, not send it to me by email. So you must send it to me or upload it in Moodle. So this is what you must do for this assignment again. What I'm going to go through the process in practice now. So the first thing that we must do is to add data, or the ward layer for that matter. And then it is not open at this stage, so I'm going to open my QGIS. The way the easiest is to type it in here, but I think you will know how to do that. I'm going to use this desktop 3.26, but you can download from qgis.org as well, the newest version. I think it is 3.26.2 is the newest version that you can download. Just want to open it. I think my battery will keep us alive for an hour or so, but I think we will be able to go through the process in an hour's time. Normally, then, if you open your QGIS and you have done projects, you will see it here, the recent projects. But I just want to explain to you again. This is your recent projects that you can open. Here is your browser. I explain in other manuals, other ways to add data or to work with your data, but I propose that you use browser. It is the easiest for me to add data. And this is almost the legend of your data, the layers that are in your projects. You can now start with a new project, or you can add the new data. So I've showed earlier, I've downloaded the zip file from Moodle, and I extracted here in data, downloads data. And if the other easiest way, I will show both, is to add data. Is somewhere here from your file explorer. There's your shape file, and then you can drag it to QGIS. So there's our word for the specific area. The other way that you can do, and if you want to remove a layer, you're not going to delete it from the hard drive or whatever. You're just going to remove it. So right click on it, and then you remove the layer. So you don't delete it, you just remove it from your project. The other way is to go through your browser. Here's my C. Open it. Like I said, I did it under downloads. Okay, downloads is here, users. I think it is that one, and then download. Then you browse to where your data is. There's data, and here's my shapefile. So again, I can double click on it or drag it to my layers, and there's my spatial data. What I then normally do is I investigate my data. So I right click on it, and then I say open attribute table. There's my attribute table. The other way how you do it, some people like to use the icons here. So make sure that you highlight your layer that you want to work with it. So in QGIS, if it is blue, then you know you select it, and then you click this icon here on top, open attribute table. Oh, I see you can press F6 as well. So I click that, and here is your attribute table. Important here again, I delete some other fields here, but important, remember from the start, I talk about that unique identifier. In this case, it will be the ward ID. Okay, here's the ward ID. Other information in here is district or what do you call it, code, and local municipality code as well. But what I'm interested in is this ward ID. And interesting, if I make it a little bit wider, you see that the word ID, the number or the text is to the left-hand side of the column. That means it is text, I think. So to make sure that the other one is also to the left, then you know it will be able to link. If one is a number, although this is a number, but it is stored as a text. If you want to link it or join it, the attribute table must also, or the attribute data must also be in text format or a number format. If it is not the same format, it will not link as well. So that is when you're struggling to link, you know that the unique identifier is the same, but it will not link. Then you must make sure that the column or the field is in the same format, for example, text. So I close here. And so I've added my shapefile. You can use this as well to add other data. Browse. So you can use, I just want to see, remember I've also last time stored stuff under download. I think there's something from the DimtecGIS. We will later on look at that. But this is the data DimtecGIS sent me regarding the NDVI. So you can see this is a raster data. Our word information, the shapefile, is vector data, and you can see that in that icon key. And you can see this also a polygon because of that sign there. This here is raster data, and I'm just going to look at it later on. But what I can do is I can just drag it as well, and you see it is part of the layers, and here to the right is then the data from DimtecGIS. So this is a way how you add data to your project. Vector data, raster data, and so forth. So I'm just going to remove it. I'm not going to delete it. So right click, remove layer, and then it is only one data. I try to keep it as simple as possible here. If I don't use the layer, I normally then just remove it, and I save it in a viewer. So this is my starting project. So I save it. Then I just go to my, where did I save it? Downloads, so my data, and I save my project. Say my Word 1, for example. So here I will do my Word analysis. So here I will do my analysis, and stuff like that. And if it is later a lot of data, then I create a new save SEMA Word output. So there I only work with the maps. The reason why I start doing that is especially in ArcGIS Pro, when the project file is becoming too big, then your computer is slow and it hangs. So I discovered if you remove all the other layers and you use only the layers that you want to make a map from, then it is a little bit easier. Okay, so the next one, if I go back to my mind map, the next one that we want to do is to add the census data or the Excel spreadsheet. Remember, we went through this process again. And again, just to remind you, Ward ID is very important. Here's the Excel spreadsheet that we're going to use, but we are now going to add it to our project. And again, remember I talk about this plugin. So we go back to our QGIS. There's our plugin. And here's a lot of other functionality of QGIS that is in the plugin. So you can go through it if you need it. But I'm just going to do my Excel one. Excel, and here is my spreadsheet layers that I want to use. Remember, it is normally it will look like that green if it is not installed, but because I've already installed it earlier, you can see that is the one. So I click on it and then I install it. If you do it the first time, they will install, or then you can you don't have to, if it is already there, you don't have to reinstall. But here's then some other plugins that I've downloaded earlier, like all these buttons here is plugins. So I can, maybe I see there's a new upgrade for some of that. So you click there and then you can upgrade it. But I already installed my spreadsheet layers. And you can see here to my left-hand side, there's my spreadsheet layer, add spreadsheet layer. This is the easiest way to add Excel spreadsheet to your data. So you click on that. File name, so I browse to the location. Remember, I saved it under downloads, data, and there's my two spreadsheets. So the first one that I'm going to add is Word age. So I open that. You see, it looks now a little bit dear mekaar here, name. But I'm not going to add it. If I go back to my spreadsheet here, you see there's in Excel, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows above the data, and our data starts in row number 9. Okay, I just want to show you something. What I do here is number of lines to ignore. It must ignore. Let's see, it will just 1, 2, 3. So I say, let's see if I type in 8. I hope it will not. Okay, it's not 5, 8. So what I then normally do is I look then at the top there, they still field 1, field 2. So I know it is not correct. So another one, the row 9, remember I count the row number 9, the data start in 9. So now I see, okay, there's my Word ID and stuff like that. Important for me is that you see there's string, and a string means it is text format. But we can't, that one must stay string, as I've discussed earlier. But the numbers that you want to use, for example, that above 60 is a real number, and the total must be real number, and the rest you can leave it as string, because I'm going to use that two totals there, and then it must be a number or in the real. Let's see what happened. then it import my age here. You see it is now part of my data. I normally move all my attribute data. You see that table, or it is attribute table. It is not spatial data. I move it to the bottom of my layers. And again, I always like to see what is going on in my data. So I right click on it, open attribute table, and here's my table again. The same as in Excel, but it is now in QGIS. Important again, there's my word ID. So now I know that in my spatial data, in my shapefile, there's a word ID, and in my attribute data, there's a word ID. And here you can see the data or the text is to the left-hand side of my field. So I know if everything is fine, it will be able to join to my spatial data. And here's in that word, there's somehow 286 people. That is less than a year. And if I go to the right-hand side here, in that ward, there's a total of 26,434 people in that top ward there. And of that, what I've done here is previously I've added people that is above. You see there's two people that is 109. But what I've done then is from 65, I sum in Excel, I sum all this from 65 to 100 or what, 100 to this year. But I'm like you said, I don't know if this is the census is totally correct, because the census says there's one person that is 120 years old. So I don't think that is correct, because then we will hear about that on the news. But what I've done, okay, not 65, 60. So I've totaled it to 65 or to above 60. I have the total number of people. So this is my attribute table. And I'm now going to link it to my spatial data, to my shapefile. So I've added my Excel data. Now I'm going to link it to my other data. And here's all the methodology how you do it. Again, I'm going to open the properties of my shapefile or my layer. So I double click on it. I'm going to join, add my, you see what I've done here at the bottom, there's a green plus. So I add a new join. And because there's only one shapefile there, it shows that one. So I'm going to join it with that layer. And again, I'm going to use that word ID as my join field. I'm going to join it with my word ID again. So that is why it is important to use the word ID and know that you link your data using a unique identifier. And then here you can decide join fields. Am I going to join everything, or am I just going to join total and above 60, for example? But you can join all the other data as well, but I'm going to only join that two fields. And what I normally do is I click on that custom field name prefix and I delete this one here, because if you don't delete it, it will be in your table, and it is difficult to work with that. So now I say okay. Then you see here it is in my layer properties. Then I say okay, and again I investigate my data. Right click on it, open attribute table, and there you see is my word ID, and this total and above 60 is the fields that I've added. So it join. It is a good join. So what I'm now going to see or to look at, it is show me the wards where there's the most people on total. Remember total then. So there's the most is I think 50,000, 55,000 people in the somewhere in Cape Town that has the most people in the ward for this one. So I close it here. And now I'm going to do my symbology. Remember, I'm now finished with this one. So I'm going to look at my to symbolize my data using this to do it. You see symbology and graduated. Go back to QGIS. Again, I'm going to open my layer property. So I double click on it. Going to symbology. And I want to use this graduated. And the value or the field that I'm going to use is this total. And then normally I use this Jenks method. So you can read about what is natural breaks. I use this Jenks, and there you classify it from and I red color, but let's use another color. So color ramp. I open it and I want the blue one. So yeah, I can see the word with dark blue. The ward has the most or between 38,000 and 55,000 people in that ward. So, okay, you see here's my data now again, my shapefile, and I think here somewhere will be in the highest ward, so I can zoom into that, and maybe I think maybe that one has the highest people. Just to check it further, I select my layer and I use this identify features, and I click on that one. So the total is 43,208 people. Okay, let's see this one here. That one has 48,000 or 49,000 people in it. So you can move it around. You use the span button to move around in your data. Okay, so that is one that we have done now, is to add our data. Or then the question here, show the areas or wards where the most people older than 60 are staying. Okay, let's go back to our data. I just want to open my attribute table. Okay, yeah, I see there's my column field above 60. So I'm going to do this again. Double click on my layer properties, symbology. The value I'm going to change then to above 60. And I'm just going to classify it again. So they changed to 7,000. It's approximately the same. I see that I think there's Robben Island. So there's a lot of older people there. This area here has the older people in it. Okay. The next one is we're going to do a calculation. I'm going to calculate the percentage of people older than 60 in that specific ward. Again, you see there in our table, there's that button, the abacus, and then here it is how you use it. Okay, go back here, open my attribute table. I like to use my attribute table a lot. Open attribute table, and there's my abacus. Open field calculator, click on that. Create a new field. Okay, I'm going to create a new field. I'm just going to call it percentage. And it is a decimal number. Because I want to work in percentage, so I'm going to the field type is percentage. And now you must choose your formula. You will put your formula or your expression here. To do that, we're going to use fields. We're going to use that field and we're going to use that field. And you find them here in the middle of the window. You see there's fields and values. So you open that. I'm going to do a normal, what do you call it? Formula division. So above 60 divided by total. And then to get the percentage, I'm going to multiply it by 100. Nee? That is a normal way to create your percentage. Okay. See what you have see here is it created a new field with the percentage. Let's see this one, this word. We will see where that is. As the most, it's almost 50%. So this word here. almost 50% of the people there is over 60. Maybe there's an old age home and stuff like that. Okay, let's go back. I've done it. So you see that sign there, we see this being edited. So then there's my toggle editing, that yellow pencil, switch it off, and then important to save it. Now I'm going to do my calculation again. Or not my calculation, my symbology again. Okay, I've done this, I'll go through this. Okay, symbolize database. Okay, now this is, at this stage, it is the number of people above 60, but I want to show the percentage. So again, I open my layer properties, symbology, and I'm going to change it from above 60 to percentage. Classify it again. So there is my percentage. Okay. Again, let use another color, maybe a green. So there's my dark green. Again, here is the other percentage of old age people there. Yeah, I see that is people that buy their holiday homes after they retire. So I think that is what is happening here, for example, maybe. Yeah, the next step is that I want to create then a layout or a map. And here's the process project. So there's project, new print layout. Let's go through that. Here's my map I've created. I want to create a map or a layout. So I go to project, new print layout. I'm going to call it age so that I know this is of age, the layout. Then it opens this clean canvas for me to work on. So I go back to my mind map here. The first, okay, I've done that layout, print. Okay, then I want to add the map itself. You see it is clean. So I'm going to use this one here, add map. Click on it, and then I drag it where I want it to be. My map layout normally looks the same. This is my map area. But what I then, you see, this there's no border. So what I do is I click on it again. When you can use it, then that buttons or that highlights. You see now I've selected my map, and here to the right hand side, item properties is where I can work with my highlighted item here. At this stage, it is the map, so I can work with that. The first thing that I only do is I just click there on frame. Black, I like a black frame, so that is fine. So if I now click, now you see I have a boundary around my map area. Okay, so the next thing is I want to add my legend. Okay, let's see, here's my legend. I then normally put it to the right hand side, so I'm not very, what do you call it, in RT or whatever. You see here's now two layers, the word information and the word age. If I go back to my QGIS, you see there's the 1 and 1, but I don't want that in my map because it is only for calculations. I go back to my layout. I click on my legend. Remember, when I said all that buttons there, now I know I work with this item here to the right. If I first switch off my auto update, then I can click on that and then I remove it. So you see it is here removed now. That's fine. I'm just going to highlight it again, add my frame. So there's my legend, but you see there's word information too, and that does not sound or looks very professional. So I go back to my map and I change that. I click on it and then I press F2. The normal edit one. Then I say go word information. What I can do is age. I don't rename the shapefile. I just rename it here in the layer properties or layer name. So if I go back to my layout, you see it is changed there. Now it looks like that a bit better. Maybe what I can do there, I'm going to F2, not F2, percentage above 60, so that we know what it is all about. So if we go back to my layout now, you see this there and it's a little bit big. Let's see if I do this. Now, okay, so I make this a little bit smaller and I can move this into my layout area. And if there's other data that you want to add to it, town names, it can also be then in the legends. I just save regularly, so I save this. So I go back to my mind map. Legend scale bar is very important. So here's my scale bar. I click on that and I can add it here. Okay, if I might just click, okay, that is my scale bar, but it's only two or three text there. So I click on it again. When it is highlighted, I can use it here at my right hand side, item properties. And here you see under segments, there's two. So it has two segments. So I change that to 5 or 6. I normally use 5. And you see what happened now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 segments. And there's my scale bar. Very important. Let's go back. North arrow. There's my north arrow. You can decide where you want to put it. Put it there. I just want to zoom in so that I can move it a little bit better. So there's my north arrow. If you click on that, it is highlighted. And then you can change it here to the right hand side. Maybe you want that the star one under arrows. And you see it looks now your north arrow looks like this. Okay, the next one is title and text. Very important. As I've said earlier, you must add your name and stuff like that as well. But I see there's not a lot of space on top of my map, so I can select all the items. I move it a little bit down, so it is still fine here. Now there's space there. And I use this text box, add label. Again, I drag it where I want. You see that word there. Yeah, this something to do with text. But again, I highlighted here with all my buttons, and then here to the right hand side, my item properties, I can type it in here. So I make it capital letters, percentage, then you can name it as you think fit, percentage people above 60. Okay, it is a little bit small, but then I go again, I'm going to here in my right hand side, my properties, I go down, I want to center it, and I want it in the middle. You see what happened there? And the font, I want to change the font. 10 is a little bit small, so I can make it bigger, okay. And then I also want it to be where's my bold? I think it is here, configure format. Okay, there's all the stuff that I can do. Regular, I want it bold. Maybe I want it Arial, or let's look for a nice one, the one that you want to use. The English one, but you can't read it good, but that is normally not a good one. So I want to go back to it. Something like this, but it must, normal, don't play too lot around with this because it must be professional as well. Okay, so then I go back, and I must then add text. What I normally then do is somewhere here, I say, again, highlighted, I type here, created by your name. See, The date is 8. And you can write a story. Something like that. And you can then add a border as well. And a good design is your map items must align. You see, if I click there, you see that blue lines. It fits with my map. It fits with my legend and stuff like that. And if you want to add maybe a logo here, you can add it here or whatever. But this is how you create a layout or the map. Important, as I've always said, if you don't have your map area, if you don't have a legend, if you don't have a scale bar, if you don't have the north arrow, if you don't have the title and the semi description or whatever, I'm going to give you a 0 for your assignment. So you must, for a map, you must have that elements on your map. So the next step is then to save it as a, export it as a PDF. This is your sign that you use. Go back to your, just going to save it again. You see, here's your map. Export page. Okay, that's fine with me. Or and then what I then want you to do is also add your name to it, so that I know it is from you. Okay, all that is fine. So it is exporting. Let's see if it is, and if you look in your where you stored it. So there's your map, the map that we created. And then you upload this to Moodle. So I will check if you able to calculate the percentage. So I will look at the colors, if it is logical, if it is like mine, it don't have to be green, but it can be blue or whatever. Then I will look, did you use the scale bar? Did you put on the title your north arrow legend? It is nice, structured. They say the eye likes a structured map. It must not be dear mekaar or here and there. It must be well structured. So I will look at that, and then please add your name and your. I think it's sometimes good to have some description of your map here, that people can understand what you have done. Okay, so this is for your assignment for Moodle. Okay, then you upload for exercise. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah, you'll be able to upload it, and then I will grade it here. When you're in our work session, when you visit Bloemfontein again, I will see you in the first morning, and then we can do another exercise, because I think you will be able to master this. But then I'm going to give you another exercise, but then the first morning, and from there on there will be a tutor or somebody that will help you doing. But I will be on campus, but I will not be able to see you all the time. But I will introduce something new to you, and then the tutor will help you that week as well. But I will be on campus and stuff like that. So this is your assignment or your course for QGIS. I see you have 4 days of next week to submit it. 13th of September, Tuesday, to submit your work. I don't know if there's any questions. For now, we are still busy with the recording. So, yeah.
Hi, doctor and colleagues. I just
Okay,
want to ask, man, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. What do we need to submit? Only the PDF of the map.
Yeah, only this map. Where is mine now? Only submit this one.
So that we don't write anything. There's no writing of
The
introduction.
only
and
writing that you
anything.
can do is maybe write something here about your map. So green is high percentage of people indicating whatever. So maybe a small, but very small, maybe 1 or 2 sentences. You can write it here, but you don't have to write a summary or a narrative. I only want the map. But in that map, I will see if you have done all the exercises that I put in, ask you to do the linkage of people and all that, of the linkage of attribute table, because you will not be able to create a map like this if you not link the attribute table with the spatial data and all that. So you must go through the whole process of to get to that map there that you must
Also, we
upload.
should follow the whole mind map.
Yeah, from 1 year to 9. You will not be able to create this map in 9 if you did not follow all the steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 9. So 9 will be your last one, but you must go through all the steps to produce that map there.
Okay. I had a problem
Yes.
in loading the spreadsheet because I did put the plugins on QGIS, but
Yeah.
and then I tried to save the spreadsheet as CSV, but still it didn't load. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Did you okay, at this stage it is Excel, and then you use this button, you say nee. This HP layer, you use this one nee. If you look here
I
to
don't know if I used it, but
yeah, just check and maybe just let me know. Yeah, sometimes there's a problem. I don't know. Like I said, I'm using this precisely the same data that you have, and it will work with me, and sometimes it will not work at the other side. It is funny like that, but try it again and just use that add spreadsheet. I think the problem, if it's also, let's see if I open the gender one. Here it is already. There you see this word male, female, and total. If I open, let me see if it is still in Excel. Take this word age. The normal what people forget is that in some cases there's information or rows before the data really starts. So there the data start, that around 9.
yes,
So
I see that.
so what you must do is in Excel you can delete this files or this rows, or what you can do is in that one I would just want to see if it will open again.
Me, I tried to delete it.
Yeah,
I deleted the rows
yeah.
above that.
Or you can use that this is just already rows number of lines to ignore is in this case it is 9. So you can use that method or delete it or remove the rows so that your top row is where the field name is.
Okay.
So yeah. So and then watch YouTube videos to do it as well.
Can
And
I
then
contact you tomorrow, maybe, if you will have even 30 minutes?
yeah, just send the WhatsApp. I don't I don't always answer my phones because I'm busy
Okay.
with people, but I will look at the WhatsApps and then we can make a time or something.
Okay, no problem, doctor.
Yeah. And maybe then we can talk tomorrow. I don't know how my battery is going to hold, but then tomorrow maybe we can talk about the stuff. And then what I want you to do, okay, say you remember, okay, to save it. But now, let's see, I can open this one here. So this is the stuff that you have done, and what you just must do for me is how did you use that formula that we talked about last time to get to this?
Yes.
Yeah, and when must you submit this data? Or
End of 27th,
yeah, so you have
26th of this month, yes. At least we
yeah.
have time.
If I look at the colors, it looks fine. I don't know, but I don't know how it is supposed to look. Yeah, what you must maybe must do is, okay, we are looking for dry areas, nee, for drought
Yes.
areas or dry areas. So maybe you can see there. We can see that is a field, and yeah, can see what is the if it is dry or not. So maybe that one is blue because we know that is most
The
dam.
water.
Yeah,
Yes, the water.
yeah, so we know that is not dry. But I think the dark red color for this month or for this 2011 imagery, it looks like that areas is are dry, that red areas. But maybe you can just, when we meet again tomorrow, whatever, you can just explain to me what you have done. And then I can look at your method, because I don't know what it is supposed to look like. So I can't say, yes, it looks correct because that must be red and that. But I can look
Okay.
at your method, and then I can see your method is fine. But I don't know how much it look at the end. But I can look at your method.
Okay, then I'll contact you for tomorrow.
Yeah, just write
This
them or
evening.
send me a WhatsApp.
Okay, thank you, doctor.
Okay.
So
can
it's
I-
Monday night, the due date, because it says 12 a.m. That is
Yeah, it
end
is
of
normally
Monday.
just before midnight or whatever.
Yes, so it's Monday night.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
what is the date? When is or is it Tuesday, the end of Tuesday?
Yeah, isn't Tuesday is the 13th? So you say 13th on 12 a.m. So that
I think
is
yeah.
the due date is the 12th at midnight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then it is like that, yeah.
Okay. So it's Monday midnight,
Yeah.
the due date of your assignment. So I'll
Yeah.
contact you tomorrow, for
Yeah.
that problem with the spreadsheet.
Yeah. Just check it again, and then if there's a problem, hopefully there will not be. Then you can contact me.
Okay, thank you,
Okay, I'm
doctor.
just going to stop the recording.
And please send us the link, because
Yeah, I
sometimes
think
the
you will in a few minutes, whatever, you will